Hi, my name is Valdo Koha. I'm the president of the European Mission Society, and I'm excited that we are meeting today in the beautiful city of Paris. The European Mission Society Board of Directors is meeting to discuss how we can improve our missions execution, the work that we do in the mission field in Europe. It is tremendous just to see the sacrifice and the willingness, the hearts of the disciples around the world, but in particular here for Europe, how much money we have been able to raise and how many resources are available, brothers and sisters who are coming here to serve in a mission field, and many churches have been planted. God has done great things, and we are really looking to help those churches to grow and to do better. And of course, we want to plant new churches. I want you to pray in particularly for the church planting in Warsaw, and we hope that this year is the year where we will be approved for our association in Poland that would allow us to send missionaries to Poland and help us to plant that church.
Ja, stimmt. Mein Name ist Scott Green und gewohnt. Und wir finden, dass Deutsch sehr schwer ist. So please pray for us, because learning German for us is excruciatingly difficult. In Germany is that it's a very skeptical nation. Now that goes back over 100 years with their intellectual enlightenment, their emphasis on philosophy. Obviously the savagery of 2 world wars which affected the entire European continent, and we really have to reach out to most of the people through our lives, our daily lives, getting to know them, getting to love them, and show them the gospel with our lives.
The challenges in Switzerland, it's a country that is really blessed. There's very little unemployment, people make good money, the country is beautiful, so everyone feels like they don't need God because they are blessed. They are blessed in tremendous ways.
My experience in France, but in Paris at this time, is it's the need for workers. We need to send workers out. There are so many people that are looking for, desperate to find what we have in Christ. The statistics are overwhelming in most of our European places, but that there's 10,000 people that commit suicide every year, and something like 125,000 suicide attempts every single year.
The biggest challenge we face in Italy is a religious indifference. Many people grew up with big traditional churches, but it goes beyond just church life. I would include also the government, the bureaucracy, the things that Italy is somewhat known for in terms of a negative perspective, and what that's created is a people that is a bit apathetic.
There are needs. It's not like people don't need God. They actually really need God, but they don't see it the same way. There's many problems in the families, in the divorce, in a lot of depression, suicide. The suicide rate is very high. For instance, we did a series with John and Karen Lewis on I Choose Us, and also raising kids, and people are attracted by that. We also decided to focus on house churches, because we have seen that through house churches we have much more visitors coming. We actually have double more visitors coming to house churches.
I think we're reaching the brothers and sisters that had wandered from the church today. I think the word is out that it's safe to come back to the parish church, and the hope that we can build and rebuild relationships with a sense of real love and and mutual respect for one another.
Our most important focus in reaching people right now is really reaching out to the young people.
All of these young people all around the world, including the German citizens, they are more idealistic and they're looking to talk about things. They're willing to explore. They won't accept the status quo of their country.
We as a young people, we don't want to meet in our homes all the time. We don't want to be a group that just meets together and spends time together, but we want to be out. No matter what we're doing, we want to be out in public places. We want to be meeting people. We want to reach the young generation through our relationships and through being a light in this world.
So what we're trying to do about that is devote as many resources as we can to our very young and fledgling campus ministry. We have some people that have history in building the ministry and love studying the Bible with people to look over these particular strategies, and hopefully God will bless us with abundant studies for the rest of 2016, and we'll see some cracks in Satan's wall in Berlin.
An encouraging story I'd like to share is my neighbor. Him and his wife were really atheists. They didn't have any spiritual or religious education. But we became great friends, and at some point his wife had a cancer, and then we decided to study the Bible together. It took like 2 or 3 years. He became a Christian last September.
One really cool story is the story of Gemma. She was really looking for God, and she became disillusioned by the traditional religion that she saw and her different experiences in different churches, and so she went onto the internet, onto Google, and just typed "just Christ, just Jesus" into Google and Milan, and our church happened to pop up in the first 10 results. So she clicked on it, she sent us an email, and through the warm contact that she received, even via email, she decided to come to church. She studied the Bible and was baptized soon after, and is actually getting married this summer to another disciple in the church.
Many years ago, our current leadership team, when they were young in the campus ministry, they were working in the Kids Kingdom with all the young children, and one of those kids, Pavel, was like the worst kid in Kids Kingdom. And everybody said, what's going to become of this young man? How are we going to help him? Well, when he grew up and kind of got into some trouble in his life, his parents sent him to Australia. And when he was in Australia, his uncle, who had become a disciple, helped him become a Christian. So Pavel became a Christian, moved back to Berlin, and then started working with his own sisters who became disciples. And then one of his sisters had a friend from high school named Johanna who started coming to church. And Johanna was baptized now, I think, about a year ago.
The younger brother of one of our members, he started to come to church and began studying the Bible. His name was Patrick. Patrick was baptized, and Patrick immediately reached out to his friend Francois, who was a dear friend so many years. Francois was baptized, and Francois reached out to one of his best friends. 3 months later, his friend Thibaut was baptized, and Thibaut reached out to one of his best friends of all time, and Nixon. That's right, that's his name, Nixon. Nixon was baptized into Christ, and this coming Sunday, Thibaut's younger sister, one of 6 sisters, is going to be baptized into Christ, Aurélie. And of course, our singles ministry, there's so many stories like that, but most all of them have been reached through connections, relationships, either best friends, siblings, extended family members, and it's really cool.
First of all, I was able to stay on staff thanks to the support of the EMS and the churches in America that were willing to sacrifice. Without that help, I would not have been able to serve the Geneva Church. Now, of course, we still need a lot of help. Europe, especially Western Europe and Central Europe, is very expensive. So to hire someone costs just a lot of money. And also we need tons of prayers.
We are really grateful for all the support that we receive. The primary way that you support us is obviously financially, which we are eternally grateful for. We can't be in Milan without that support. But beyond financial support, we're also really grateful for all of the resources that the Boston Church and the Chicago Church and many churches share with us in terms of their wisdom, their training, their missionaries. It's so crucial for us.
I think we need your prayers for sure. we're desperate for your prayers. I think the encouragement, the culture in much of Europe is cup half empty. It has a negative, more of an oppressive feel to it. Your encouragement, I think so many that have been connected to EMS, you've done a great job with news, with visits.
We're thankful for all the support, all the prayers, and especially for those of you that have an ambition to speak German and come visit us for a year in Berlin, to come on over, because those are the people that we're trying to see come to Christ first as a foundation for the next generation.
We've been out sharing our faith every day, kind of hanging out on the campus areas, meeting strangers, getting rejected, meeting really friendly people.
Something that we do is we go out on campus every day for probably like 6 or 7 hours and just share our faith with people. And
having Bible discussions and making friends.
We are there to encourage the church, the campus ministry of about 10 people, and the teen ministry.
Really just hopefully being a light to this city and encouraging those who may be here after I leave to continue to be lights.
I think that I haven't had a dream for Europe for a long time, but once I was asked to come to Milan, I've just had such a big dream just to help everyone in Europe.
a lot of people in America just are more religious, and it's just, I feel like they're more, right away they're open, and in Geneva it's been more they're up front and not open right away.
It's a little bit terrifying. It's something that's helping to stretch my faith.
Evangelism in Europe is just so different. They really just need like friendships, and they need like people to just like love up on them. And it's just such a fun time to just hang out with young people and have a great time.
We sit down with students, we have conversation with them before we go into Bible talk. And I found that regardless of atheist, agnostic, or Catholic background, people here are really searching for God and wanting to learn more about Him.
One girl was not interested in talking about God at first at all, but after just becoming friends and talking about who we are, my story, her story even, she opened up more, and she even told us that she was thinking about God and just like thinking about life and what would happen after life. She said that we were a gift from God, and that she was so grateful that we were able to speak to her and that we met her, and I think that was so encouraging.
One guy stands out in particular. His name's Conrad. He reads his Bible 3 times a day. He's the only person I've really met that has any sort of faith, but the one thing he said is he's lacking a close relationship with God, and it's amazing to see him going out by himself.
So I met this girl on campus maybe 2 weeks ago, and she's from China, and she had never heard of the Bible or of Jesus ever. And so it was really cool because I got to sit down with her and ask her about her life, and then I got to show her a Bible for the first time, and she was amazed, and she had never seen it before. And so it was really great getting to meet her and show her.
So there's this girl, Hannah, who's been coming to our Bible talk consistently at the University of Geneva, and I have just really built a friendship with her. I feel like, just through her wanting to learn more about God, she has a Christian foundation already, but she's invited me and this other sister to a prayer time with her, and I feel like just through that friendship, we've really been able to bond and really connect over God, and even just dig deeper and figure out what her convictions are, and even feel challenged in my own convictions, because she's very devoted to her studies of the Bible.
A lot of the people that we were running into were kind of either atheists or just really strongly opposed to the idea of religion, so my heart was kind of like giving up. But the last girl we reached out to, she was just kind of like a broken soul. Like, she had been seeking God for 5 years, and she got to the point where she was literally sitting down and she was giving up. So we kind of sat down and we kind of just read Jeremiah 29:11, and it was about God having plans for her. She was so just genuinely touched that we sat down, and she was like, I'm so sorry I'm wasting your time. And we're like, no, this is what we're here to do. We have all the time today, literally, to just be with you and to help you find God and to help you not lose faith.
Yeah, I think Europe is in some ways a very difficult mission field. Many countries are filled with humanism, with atheism, with lack of interest in God, and yet at the same time people are desperate to have a purpose in their lives and are looking for answers to the really big question in life. But the hurdle is to reach people in the first phase, to talk to them about God and to help them to get excited to find God and seek God in their lives.